Yeet. Okay. Yeah. Tell me, yeet. No.
After Gary Busey would take on memorable roles in Leathal Weapon, Predator 2, and Point Break, after Gary overdosed on cocaine in 1995, which led to his hospitalization, then rehabilitation, and eventually spiritual enlightenment. After Gary was involved in a near-death motorcycle accident where he recalls an out-of-body experience and speaking with angels. After Gary Busey picked up an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor for his portrayal of title character in the Buddy Holly story. Now that's a remarkable accomplishment for anyone, but seems so surprising from the Gary Busey we now know and love that it seems to be necessary to mention it every time the man makes a public appearance.
You have been nominated for an Oscar for Best Actor in the Buddy Holly movie.
Gary Busey reprising his role as Buddy Holly.
Gary Busey, former Oscar nominee himself and star of Leathal Weapon, Point Break, Under Siege and the Buddy Holly story.
But she vetoed that.
Most recently, Gary is known for his work in reality television. He has appeared on Dancing with the Stars as well as Celebrity Rehab. He was the winner of the 14th season out in the UK on Celebrity Big Brother, and he's been fired twice by Donald Trump on The Apprentice.
Gary, you're fired.
But he holds no hard feelings and was the first celebrity to actually go public with his support for the Donald to become president.
TRUMP stands for Taking Redirection, Understanding Massive Power.
I'm sure Donald is thrilled to have him in his corner. Now Gary has built up a cult following as of recent with his various Busyisims, also his fantastic quotes. This one's my favorite. Running backwards through a cornfield at midnight will show you where you've been. My name is Michael McCrudden, documenting the life of Gary Busey after the fame, after his initial launch to fame, here for you on After They're Famous. Now this was requested by only one viewer, but I thought it was such a good idea, I wanted to get it done. And it's proof to you guys that I read all the comments and the suggestions. Now I can only imagine After They're Famous is a new series to some of you guys. In the past I've done Tila Tequila, I've also done some child actors like Shia LaBeouf, the Star Wars kid, I've done the kid who was in Malcolm in the Middle. So be sure to browse this playlist and it's a good one, so enjoy. Alright, let's get back to Gary's bio.
I'm the angel of silk. Let me take you inside, and you'll feel like you're 5,000 miles past heaven. Come with me.
Born William Gary Busey on June 29, 1944 in Goose Creek, Texas, but raised in Oklahoma. Gary is the son of Sadie Virginia Arnett, a homemaker, and Delmore Lloyd Busey, a constructive design manager. Gary has English, Irish, Scottish, as well as German ancestry. He graduated from a high school out in Tulsa, Oklahoma back in 1962. He then went on to Pittsburgh State University, located out in Kansas. He had received for himself a football scholarship, but a knee injury caused him to abandon his pursuit of professional sports. He had then turned to an education in theater, but he dropped out one day short of graduation. Why? Well, he'd already found for himself a career as a professional musician. He was very talented at the drums and was working with several bands alongside the likes of Leon Russell, Chris Christopherson, as well as Willie Nelson. His work brought him to Los Angeles, where he got involved in acting, and he made his debut in the 1971 low-budget biker flick Hard As They Come. He went on then to play the assassin Mr. Joshua in Lethal Weapon and Navy Commander Krill in Under Siege. But arguably his greatest performance was his work in the 1978 film The Buddy Holly Story.
The way you dance and hold me tight, the way you kiss and say goodnight. Your love for me has got to be real.
10 years following the release of this film, well, Gary Busey, he was involved in a near-fatal motorcycle accident that miraculously didn't end his life. Let's let him tell the story.
I hit a little bit of sand and gravel and went fishtailing, hit my rear brake, and I smashed into the concrete, and I don't remember 7 weeks of my life.
Since the accident, Gary has spoken about an out-of-body experience where he went to the afterlife and he spoke with androgynous angels. Now, following Gary's accident, California began passing stricter laws and forcing people to wear helmets while riding a motorcycle. When this was all happening, Gary was on the other side of the protest, stating that it didn't need to happen, but eventually he changed his mind. Despite the accident, Gary would go on to have a quite successful career in Hollywood, some years better than others, but the man has nearly 200 credits to his name. He would pick up some negative media attention, labeled as a notorious drug user, which resulted in a 1995 overdose. Following this, he dedicated his life to Christianity. Gary would go on to have another operation on his head in 1997, this one due to cancer. He had a golf ball sized tumor inside his sinus cavity. Then in 2000, the man was arrested and charged for spousal abuse abuse, and then he divorced his second wife. Then by the early 2000s, Gary Busey was booking more work as Gary Busey than as that of an actor. He played himself in Entourage as well as 2.5 Men. He was in Scrubs as Gary Busey, as well as on The Simpsons, American Dad, and Family Guy.
How am I doing today, Gary Busey? You're doing great. Good. Then I'll keep it up.
Now Gary has done extremely well for himself, opting to appear in absolutely everything that's offered his way. He made his first leap into reality television, appearing on Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew, although the man at this time had been 13 years sober. He became the old dude in the room who was like, yeah kid, I've been there. Although everyone else was looking at him like, but what are you on now? And he told a story about sniffing coke off the butt of a dog for 25 minutes. While on the show, Gary was referred to a psychiatrist who suspected that Busey's brain injuries had a greater effect on him than he had realized. And this was the reason he would speak and act out impulsively. He was recommended to take valproic acid medication he's likely given up on. He returned to reality television in Celebrity Apprentice Season 4 as well as Season 6, and he was fired both times. He also managed to really piss off actor-singer Meatloaf.
He wants to put the stakes in this box.
Meatloaf, this is really bothering you, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
In 2014, he became a celebrity spokesman for Amazon Fire TV, and the same year he became the first American winner of the 14th series of the UK version of Celebrity Big Brother. He has since danced his pants off on Dancing with the Stars, going home the 4th week in 10th place. Nowadays, you can catch Gary on many a red carpet where he tells it how it is, or at least how he sees it.
The beautiful thing about the truth is that the truth requires no questions. Therefore, there's no competition in art.
Since the internet has revolutionized Hollywood with the introduction of new media, well, Gary Busey hasn't been left behind. The man is pretty popular in memes as well as his own Busyisims. They are all over the internet. People love what he has to say. Also, the guy has appeared on so many different interviews, vlogs, radio shows, all of it streamed online. So he's keeping up with the times. So much so, in fact, I feel like if I had asked him to be featured in this video, he probably would have taken me up on the offer. But hey, I should have called him. I really should have done that.
The word team, T-E-A-M. Together, everyone achieves more.
Now, many speculate how Gary's injury, his drug use, as well as that surgery have affected his behavior to date. Regardless, the man seems to be having a blast, and he's entertaining. And he works in entertainment, so it works for him. As for the rest of the story, well, we'll have to wait and see because this is After They're Famous. My name is Michael McCrud. Thanks for checking out my personal channel. Now, I do all sorts of videos on here. I do Before They're Famous, After They're Famous, and as well as Before They Were Dead. Let me know in the comments down below who you want to hear about next. Be sure to browse After They're Famous. Some really great videos there. And I look forward to reading your comments. I'll see you guys in another video. Alright, see you in the next one.
Then I'm gonna go down on all fours.
Hey,